Wikipedia thinks he has the answer. He's planning to launch Wiki Tribune, a crowd-funded news site run by journalists and volunteers. We'll speak to Jimmy in a moment, as well as William Foy from the fact-checking charity Full Fact, who's here on the sofa with us. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Yes, so hopefully I can see Jimmy Wales. Morning to you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. So do you think you would echo some thoughts, would you, that there is a need for getting to grips with so-called fake news?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things that we've seen in the last couple of years is a real rise of a lot of very low quality, you might not even call them news sources in some cases, but low quality news sources that have been very problematic in terms of increasing divisiveness in society and so forth.
Okay, so what are you going to do about it? How will you be assured that the news that you're looking at is real?
Well, so one of the things that we want to do is bring in the kind of community, very thoughtful, kind people like we have at the Wikipedia community, and combine them with professional journalists to do news, but that's very community guided, community focused, with very intensive levels of fact-checking along the way. And, well, I think it's a very exciting concept to try to do something new in this space.
William, you are a fact-checker. What do you think of this model? Could it work?
Well, I think Jimmy's hit on something which is really important, which is that what they're saying is that they're going to show the sources for everything they say, which is what Wikipedia does. That's really exciting. Single biggest thing that journalism could do to earn more people's trust more quickly is show where you're getting your facts from and let people judge them from themselves. But I also think, being a fact-checker, that it takes a lot of time. Fact-checking is often a plodding experience. You know, we have spent weeks trying to get the answers to simple questions like how many businesses export to the rest of the EU. Literally weeks going around different government bodies and that kind of thing. And I'm not totally sure that's going to happen, that kind of plodding, patient, diligent work, unless it's resourced.
Let's talk to Jimmy about that. That's, I mean, and he makes a good case, doesn't it? This is difficult work, it's intensive work, and it needs backing behind it. How will you do that?
I mean, I think for us, it's really all about saying we want monthly contributors who sign up to pay because we do need the funds to do that kind of intensive fact-checking, to really put professional journalists on the case. But also, I think there is a lot of room for a wiki-style community to really help with that kind of fact-checking. I mean, one of the things that's quite famous about Wikipedia is the number of people who spend months and months and months and years on very tedious, very obscure things that are their personal interest. So people will spend time doing this, but yeah, of course, you have to have the full infrastructure. You've got to have broad support. And one of the things I'm very interested in, my approach to everything is open, transparent, partnering, so would love to partner with your organization to say, like, how can we help you? How can you help us? How can we all work together to improve the quality of the information that the public is getting?
I'll put that to William in a moment. Do you want to come back on that, William?
Well, I think the flip side of it is that at Full Fact, we will spend weeks and weeks on things we have no personal interest in. What you want is independent fact-checking. You want non-partisan fact-checking. We're going to see an awful lot of people riding their hobby horses over the general election campaign we're coming into. What we've done at Full Fact for 7 years is fact-check every major public debate we've had. You know, 3 different referendums, different elections. And we've done it from the point of view of we have no axe to grind. We're not trying to persuade anybody of anything. We're trying to give people information to make up their own minds. I think the problem with relying on volunteer experts is that people tend to be experts in things they care about. And actually, if you ask people, for example, let's ask human rights lawyers how great human rights are, you will definitely get human rights are great, but will everybody trust that what they're hearing about human rights law and how it actually works is true? Whereas we have a legal specialist who can stand off from that and say, okay, this is what we know, and here are the sources you can judge for yourself. So I think independence and non-partisanship are really crucial here.
Jimmy, your subscribers will come with an agenda.
Well, I mean, hopefully not. I mean, Wikipedia has a very good reputation for trying really hard to be neutral, and actually one of the great strengths of the Wikipedia community has always been people who care more about Wikipedia than about the particular debates. And we actually do struggle with people, who, of course, who come in with an agenda and they're trying to push an agenda, and usually the Wikipedians end up banning them very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I think it takes all these kinds of approaches to get professional fact-checkers engaged is incredibly important.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, both, for talking to us. Jimmy Wales, William Moy, thank you very much indeed. Great to have a chat about
Thank you.
fake news.
It's very much the phrase of the year, isn't it? One of those. Thank you.